Hey, welcome back. 8:15 in the morning. Good to have you with us here on Coastal Daybreak on the talk station. I know many of you set your clocks so that you make sure that you catch Todd Starnes with his commentaries here on the talk station. He joins us now with his new book called The Deplorables Guide to Making America Great Again. Todd, it's an honor to have you on the show.
Ben, what an honor to hang out with you. I was trying to order my cherries berries there during the commercial break.
Yeah, and we can make that happen for you. The Deplorables Guide to Making America Great Again came out this week, came out just yesterday, and of course, it's after the quote from Hillary Clinton during the campaign. Was that? Do you think that was the turning point?
Oh, I think that was the turning point. I think the average American, the American working man, understood what the Democrats really thought about them as a people. You know, it was really akin to what President Obama said back in 2007 about the people in the Rust Belt, those folks who cling to their guns and cling to their religion.
Right.
He called them bitter.
Yeah.
And, Ben, I got to tell you something. I write this in my book. I'm sort of proud to call myself a gun-toting, Bible-clinging, deplorable American.
Yeah, we like that you like sweet tea, too. That's that's important.
Well, I was hoping the first executive order from coming out of the Trump White House was to ban unsweet tea.
Yeah, that's right. I could go with that.
Unto the Lord.
Yeah, I could go with that. Now, one of the things you mentioned about the clinging to your guns and to your Bibles, those statements that Obama made. You have what Hillary made. But we've seen this now coming for some time, this rise of the arrogant left. But it's just taking what they believed was a moral high ground of which no one else could occupy any space on that ground.
Well, that's a good point you raised, Ben. You know, I grew up in Western Tennessee and spent most of my life in the South, and so I understand what's going on here, and I understand how people feel when they see for example, Southerners being marginalized and ridiculed on the mainstream media or by Hollywood, and there does seem to be this air of superiority coming from the left. But more than that, there is this effort afoot now to silence all dissent in America. If you don't agree with the liberal ideology, they want to shut you down. They want to take you out of the public marketplace. And the whole point of my new book is a guide for conservatives, a guide for Christians to take a stand and to do so without having to go in and burn down a city like the left does.
It was a number of years ago when West Wing was on TV. Aaron Sorkin, who's no friend of usually the conservative causes, but he wrote the best line for a conservative character in there that I think outlines what's going on. He said to a character who was a Republican going to be in the Democrat White House staff, it says to her colleagues that were anti-gun, says, it's not that you don't like guns, it's that you don't like the people who like guns. And, that's very prescient, I think.
Well, I think Sorkin was absolutely right, and I think that's a pretty good assessment of what's going on here. Hence the term, not necessarily the deplorable Americans, but she called us irredeemable deplorables. I mean, that's a pretty offensive statement to make about someone, that they're irredeemable. I suspect the good book would certainly disagree with that concept. But again, I believe that was the turning point of the election, and I think that's one of the reasons why the great deplorables of America rose up and put Donald Trump in the White House on Election Day.
Yet the left does not understand it. I was making the analogy earlier today that one of the reasons that so many young people, and I include one of my sons in this as well, are just up in arms, just so aghast at all of this, is that they never learned how to lose. They always had participation trophies. They don't know what that means.
That's right, and also, and I touch on this in the book. There's a war on winning. We don't want people to do their very best. We don't want people to excel. I think this is why people on the left get upset and offended when President Trump says we're the most exceptional nation on earth, because in their heart of hearts, the left, they don't believe that. Mm-hmm. They don't believe we are. One of the things I encourage parents to do in the book is to take responsibility for teaching their children about American history. That not to rely on the public school system to do that, but they need to do that themselves. Make sure their kids understand the Constitution and their rights under the Constitution, and really try to make history, American history, come alive. Teach your kids that it's okay to take pride in the red, white, and blue.
Yeah, it's okay to shed a tear when you hear the national anthem.
Absolutely.
This is. I agree with you 100%. Again, we're looking forward to it. The book out, The Deplorables Guide to America, Making America Great Again by Todd Starnes. Todd Starnes' commentary is heard all the time here. And of course, you can go to his website too at toddstarnes.com. But the irony here is that the left deplores winning. They have this, as you said, a war against winning. They believe that if we call ourselves exceptional, it's somehow incomprehensible. Yet, as Christians, we start often from a position that we're sinners. That's completely the opposite of how they feel about themselves.
That's right, they do, and it really puzzled me because there were many of the Never Trumpers are folks who go to church just like you and me, and they were saying, well, Donald Trump, is a bad person. He uses bad language and he said bad things in the past, and I'm sitting here going, okay, well, he's a sinner. I think we've all committed sins in our lives, and who am I to judge Donald Trump? But at the end of the day, I wasn't electing this guy to be my Sunday school teacher.
Exactly.
I wouldn't want Donald Trump to be my Sunday school teacher.
Please no.
But by golly, he's going to make sure that we're protected, our churches are protected, so we can have Sunday school in the morning.
And that is a huge difference, and because we saw with the Clinton State Department pushing a strategy of freedom to worship. That's not freedom to exercise your religion. As long as you kept it inside your house, inside your four walls, you were okay.
And I think the average Republican is still just a little bit shell-shocked because we finally have a Republican president who is doing what he said he was going to do on the campaign trail.
Yes, why is this a surprise to everyone?
That's what. But it's. I just have to tell you, I think that Donald Trump has just shaken Washington to its core. And I give you a great example. Last night, I never thought I would see this day when Mitch McConnell told Elizabeth Warren to sit down and be quiet.
Sit down.
He did the nation a great public service.
Yeah. Yes. However, we are in a age of 100, as Donald Trump is taking quite advantage of 140 characters, but social media can rip people's reputations to shreds, and we're watching that happen before us, and people have to stand up.
They are, and we give people that guide path in the Deplorables Guide to Making America Great Again. If you love Irma Bombeck and the old Southern humorist Louis Grizzard, you're going to like this book because we have a lot of fun, even though we're delivering a lot of challenging material. We have a lot of fun doing it, and I write in a very uniquely Southern way. So I hope folks will enjoy the Deplorables.
Yes, because Todd Starnes knows how to say "bless your heart."
Oh, yes, indeed.
How we say that in the South is a very particular way. All right.
It can either mean we feel sorry for you or you're stupid.
Dumb as a box of rocks. The Deplorables Guide to Making America Great Again with Todd Starnes. And Todd, thank you for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much, Ben.
This is Coastal Daybreak here on the talk station, FM 107 and AM 1240. We'll have more to come in just a moment. I want to just keep his laugh. I want to take his laugh and just keep that as something I can play back every now and then.
We can make that happen. Yeah.
That was a great laugh. It's Coastal Daybreak on the talk station. We'll have more to come in just a moment.